Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So I am yet again part of another YesStyle campaign. It's smaller this time, so I also thought I would throw in trying the new ColourPop and Tinkerbell collection at the same time as doing this video because the products really don't overlap. So I will just go ahead and start and show you what I got. So the first thing I got in the YesStyle thing is the Dear Claire's Fundamental Ampoule Mist. Now, as a skincare product, I cannot testify to how good this is. You guys know I generally have pretty good skin. My skincare routine is locked in. So I really only use this as like a hydrator before using my makeup. So this is my second time filming today, so I washed my face once off makeup already. So this is really good for situations like that where I need to just quickly hydrate my face before putting makeup on. As you guys know, I have really dry skin. Now the mister is aggressive, but it's not like big droplets. It's still a very fine mist. It's just the speed at which it comes to you is going to be a lot faster than other misters I enjoy. I do like that sometimes. I also find this to be, honestly, it sinks in really quickly and it doesn't leave any sort of oily feeling behind. It just leaves your skin feeling nice and hydrated. I don't find this to be overly greasy or overly wet or anything like that. So again, before I put on any kind of primer, I do really like using this for that. So for example, quick comparison, this is the Laneige Cream Skin Mist. I do really like this in the winter, but this can leave your skin feeling a little bit slick and greasy, a little bit oily if you use too much. This is not going to have any of that feeling. It leaves my skin feeling almost kind of tacky afterwards. It feels definitely like a serum or an ampoule, so I really like it for that purpose. But as for its properties of it can like actually improve your skin or clear your skin, obviously I can't speak to that, so take that with what you will. Next, I am going to prime my skin, and I'm just going to be using a standard usual primer I really like. First, I'm going to use the Jaclyn Under Eye Primer. I use this pretty much every time I do my makeup now, which is a shame that the tube is so small. I feel like I'm going to run out of this really quickly. And then I'm going to use the Pat McGrath a primer right here. As you guys know, this is my second bottle. I do like this a lot. My apologies if the color balance seems off. I'm trying to mess around with the white balance on my videos on the camera settings, and I wonder if I might have set it a little bit too orange this time. Now, I did get sent a foundation. It is from the brand 2AN, which I have never heard of before, and it comes in this really beautiful crystal packaging, and you can just barely see the text on the front. And then the back says shade 23, so I don't know if this is going to match me. Generally, I'm between a 17 and a 21, but we'll see. The puff comes in this teardrop shape, which is pretty cute, and it also definitely is going to be really practical for reaching under the eye. And then it kind of has like almost a tension net kind of situation, and if you press into it you get a nice amount of product. Okay, yeah, so this is like one of those shades that's going to look my perfect match, and then over the course of the day it's going to make me look really orange. So I will use a concealer to kind of brighten up the center of my face. The packaging is like so pretty though. I kind of wish I was able to pick my shade, but they just sent me whatever shade. It has extremely sheer coverage, so I can get away with it for sure because the coverage is sheer enough that it's not gonna look like too dark on me. I'm not really in the market for something super sheer coverage, so I'm gonna say that this is not for me, but the formula does feel really nice, and the puff is really nice. I do really like this puff. Okay, so that is what it's looking like right now. Makes me look, it's definitely just too warm for me. Makes me look super warm. As you can see, very sheer coverage. So I'm not surprised, but yeah, overall, you can like really see the text at this angle. Overall, pretty packaging, but what is actually on the inside is not really super impressing me. I've tried enough cushion foundations at this point that I don't feel like this really is going to be anything special. I feel like this is a cushion I could get like something a lot cheaper than this one and get like the exact same result. I also think Moonshot makes better ones, just things like that. I think there's better cushion foundations out there. I heard Clio made a new one that's super great, so I have a hard time recommending this one. But it's not bad, it's just nothing special, and I'm not really a sheer coverage person right now either. So as I said, I need to brighten up the center of my face. I am just going to quickly go in with my Lancome Taint Needle Concealer. This is in the shade 95. Now, Lancome's shade range is kind of strange because anything above 95 starts looking really orange on me, but 95 in and of itself can sometimes look a bit too ghostly on me just on its own. But using this as a brightener concealer it will definitely look just fine. I just have a beauty blender. Alright, So complexion has been brightened. As you can see, my face is looking a lot better now. Overall, really, with the concealer laid on, it makes my skin look really nice with the concealer on top. So I might keep this around and just use it up just because I have it. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of it or anything. I'm not really one for liquid concealer, but I will say this cushion foundation pairs really well with a good liquid concealer. So okay, so the next thing I actually already had one of. So I've already gone ahead and given the new one to my sister because I just don't need two, and I have the old one for myself. It is the W-Airfit Cover Powder Pact. I bought this a long time ago when I saw Pony use it. I don't know if it was sponsored or not, whatever, but I saw her use it, so I wanted it. And I would say, again, it's okay. It's a little bit more expensive than other Korean powders from like road shops. It's like a white, but it doesn't really leave a white cast. The thing about it was that it claims to have like flower extract, so it's hydrating. I didn't really notice any serious hydration. It made my skin look fine. It set my makeup, blah blah blah. It's not bad, so if you like it, you will like it. If you want it and you get it, I don't think you'll be disappointed. So I just realized I do need to cover these up, so I'm gonna do that really quick. I'm just using my JX Professional Concealer as always. Okay, so now that those are covered, I can go ahead and fix my skin. Now it does come with a puff, and you can use the puff. I don't really like this puff specifically, so I'm just going to be using a powder brush. And again, it's fine. I think it looks fine. I don't think it looks like remarkable or anything like that. It's just like it's good. You know, it's a solid B+ powder. I don't really think it's gonna like knock my socks off, and it's not in my favorites pile, but obviously I still have it, so I don't dislike it that much. I do find it doesn't dry out my skin very much at all, so you know, it's good for that. I think I have other powders that just make my skin look better, so that's why I don't really use it very often. But there you go, that's what my skin is looking like. It's not super mattifying. You can see it leaves behind just a little bit of glow, so you wouldn't be disappointed if you got it. Alright, now we're gonna move on to eyebrows. I'm just gonna be using the Anastasia Brow Definer in Ebony. I did kind of tweeze my eyebrows to like kind of trim off the top a little bit to see if I can help me make a better shape, so. Okay, so I just kind of left them purposefully a little bit messier, not super specific. I think by tweezing it down, I was able to keep my brows a little bit more straight, and I love when my brows are a little bit more straight across. I think they're looking honestly pretty good. I'm working on trying to keep them a little thinner. I feel like my brows previously are sometimes a little too thick. So the next product I have to try from YesStyle is going to be an eyeliner. So I'm gonna do that obviously at the end. So we're gonna work on now showing off the ColourPop collection. I didn't buy everything. I thought about it, and initially I actually wasn't going to buy anything from this collection at all, but I just had such a terrible week that I just couldn't resist the temptation. Like I was out of energy. My willpower bank was 0, my energy bank was 0. I have the Super Shock Trio. I did buy both glossy lip stains. I am really interested in trying this formula. I know Korea definitely did it first and popularized it, so we'll see what ColourPop's take on it is, because this is definitely way more accessible to buy here in the US. Of course, I got the palette, and then I didn't buy the Super Shock highlighter, which I'm kind of regretting, but I did buy both Super Shock cheeks, which I also am kind of regretting because I don't know if these are my colors, but we'll see. I don't have nostalgia. I'm not a Disney person. I don't really care about Tinkerbell being on the packaging, but I will say objectively pretty. Like, even if you have no idea who Tinkerbell is, you have no idea who Disney is, or you just don't care, the packaging is still objectively very beautiful, so you know, I still do appreciate it. Am I gonna like keep the boxes and everything? No, I'm not. I'm gonna throw the boxes away, but that's fine. I do appreciate the custom kind of accents that set this apart from their core collection. You know, if you're gonna do a collab, put a little bit more effort into it. This is why I love when Asian brands do collabs, because you know, they just go like completely all out with the packaging, so that even if the quality and the colors are not something that you care about, at least it's really nice to look at. It sucks me in every time, that's for sure. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the palette, and if I want to top it off with a Super Shock, then I will do that. I think because it's I just kind of want to keep the look a little bit simpler, I'm not going to use the dark shadows. I think I'm mostly going to focus on the greens over here, keep it nice and soft, and then yeah, that's kind of the roadmap for today's look. I'm going to take the shade Big Magic, which is right here. I'm not using any eyeshadow primer today. I did use the Jaclyn eye cream all over my eyelids, and I've just been kind of experimenting with no primer these days, and especially if the look is not going to be super intense, I just don't think primer is necessary, especially when the eyeshadow look is not going to be super dark. So if you have dry eyelids like me, maybe just consider using an eye cream and just calling it a day on the primer. See if that helps your eyeshadow look better. I am still experimenting with eye primer for when I need my eyelid to like be blanked out, or when I have really bright colors I need to show off, or if I have metallics that I want to lay down and they adhere really strongly. I definitely am going to continue messing around with that, but for now, no primer today. And you can see this shade is just really soft and pretty. I'm just gonna kind of let this shade go further down on my lower lash line than normal. I'll just kind of emphasize that fairy appearance. I have like this idea in mind with blush, so we'll see if that works out. I kind of wish ColourPop would make an eyeshadow palette that was all of their Super Shocks, because you know how like they put Super Shocks in their palettes now and they claim that they made it so that those Super Shocks won't ever get dry. So because of that, I really wish ColourPop would make a palette of just those, because I will say those are like impossible to dupe anywhere else. Those are definitely super unique to ColourPop, and I find them to be way prettier than their standard shimmer formula, which is super boring. So if they ever released a palette of just like their palette Super Shock formula, I'd totally buy it. Okay, so you can see I blew it out pretty far. I'm now gonna take the shade Sleep, and I'm just gonna kind of let this be the key color matte of this look. And layered on top of Big Magic kind of makes it look a little bit more earthy and a little bit less bright. It could, I guess you could say it looks a bit muddy, I don't know. I kind of like the earthiness, but if I just layer a little bit more, you can see it brightens up a lot, so. And then I'm gonna kind of just mirror it on the lower lash line. I do acknowledge my lower lash line could pass for looking like a pretty nasty bruise, but that's fine. It'll all be fixed later, I promise. Okay, so that's what it's looking like right now. I said I wouldn't really deepen up the outer corner at all, and I don't really want to. I'm kind of scared to like, I feel like this shade right here is just gonna be too much to use. All right, I'm really wanting to try the shade here, Small Fairy. It looks beautiful. It feels a lot smoother and creamier, like a Super Shock formula. I don't know if it actually is, but it just feels really nice. Like it just felt so creamy and smooth. So I'm really excited to try this. So I'm just gonna, ooh. Okay, that is like, this shade made the palette worth it. I was like having my doubts on why did I buy this, but this shade actually is like, I have no more regrets. This is really pretty. I'm just gonna sprinkle this all over my eyelid. I'm kind of concentrating it on the inner part and kind of initially apply right here, and then I blend it. But really it looks so pretty that I can just have this over my entire eyelid and I do not care. That is so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love how that looks. That is definitely a star shade of the palette for sure. And I don't really have a shade quite like this in my collection, so I really am glad that I bought this now. Alright, I'm gonna like not over apply it too much because I don't want to. I am gonna use that black eyeliner that I believe will balance out the inner part significantly once I put that on, and by leaving it a little more open, I'll have room to make the eyeliner a lot thicker without covering up any eyeshadow that might otherwise go there. I'm gonna kind of let that be the way that is. So I'm gonna now move on to the Super Shock shadows. I like really super want to try these. So I'm gonna use the shade Straight On Till Morning, this green right here. I'm gonna use this on the inner corner of my lower lash line. Now I feel like these are definitely like finger formulas, but for the precision I really do need a brush. So it's a little bit tricky with a brush, but if you need the precision like I do, you kind of don't really have a choice. But you can see that is so pretty. I love their Super Shock formula. I don't really use it as often as I should because I just forget about my singles. I really need to do more videos where I use only singles. That would definitely be a video I should make. In the meantime, I'm gonna use that on the inner corner like this, and then I'm gonna take it on my finger, and it kind of looks really pretty on my finger, and I'm gonna tap it on top of that yellow green shimmer I applied earlier, just to kind of add some of that green back to the middle of my eyelid. And that is just so pretty. And now I'm gonna take the shade Fly to Your Heart, and I think this will make for a really good aegyo style color, just to add some brightness to underneath my eyes without being too much. And I'm just popping it right in the middle. And I'm not really getting any fallout, which is nice. That's just like so pretty. And I think it would look nice to have it on my inner corner just to kind of be consistent. So I am gonna take a little bit and pop it on the inner corner. I do prefer my inner corner to be a little bit more neutral, even if the look is really colorful. So there we go. That just makes me feel a lot better about this look all of a sudden. I know Annette's makeup corner loves a colorful inner corner. I'm like trying to get there, but I think I'll always prefer a neutral inner corner for me. Okay, so that's what that looks like now. Very shiny. I'm definitely sure that the black liner will balance all of this out once it's on. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna put on some mascara. So I'm gonna do my lashes off camera and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna use the liner. All right, so my lashes are on. I did draw in some fake lower lashes on the outer corners just because when you have monolids, it's not uncommon for as you blink for the outer corners of your upper and lower lashes to stick together, which is so annoying. So I have to draw in some fake lower lashes to kind of compensate for the fact that I will look like I have fewer lashes than I do, which is, with as little lashes as I have, so unnecessary. But anyways, my upper lashes are honestly looking pretty good today. I feel like I did a really good job getting them curled. So now I'm going to be using this eyeliner from NEOGEN. A little bit nervous to try this, we'll see. Like, my worst nightmare is always trying these liners and discovering that they're felt tip instead of brush, but we'll try it. This is a really weird shape, you guys. Okay, so it's really wide on the front and then it's really narrow. So it's like, definitely this is felt tip and it's such a weird shape. I'm nervous. I don't know if I'm gonna like this. This is a really weird applicator, but we're gonna try it. I don't think I'm gonna use this to draw the wing, but I'll just stamp it on my upper lash line. Yeah, this is really weird, you guys. It is nice for kind of getting to my lash line, I guess, but I'm not sure I like this. I'm just kind of wiggling it between my lashes. I'm probably not gonna ever use this again. This is such a weird applicator, oh my gosh. Yeah, this is like, it makes it impossible to get any kind of precision. I wonder if they meant this to be like for your waterline based on this shape, so I will try it there. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really use liquid on my waterline because I feel like my eyes are a little bit sensitive and I don't really like to. Yeah, I mean, it works much better on the waterline for sure. I don't really fill in my upper waterline super often, but I guess for this video, sure, why not? This has got to be the weirdest shape ever. Look at I mean, this is not really a very friendly shape. No, not for me. Very black though, very nice. It dries down a little bit slow, but it's not, this is not for me. I'm going to use my recent new favorite. I recently picked up the Urban Decay Perversion liner, and this is definitely super, super great. So I'm gonna use this instead, and we're gonna fill in that wing, so. I feel like this wing is a little bit longer and thicker than this one, so we're gonna take the risk of trying to make them even without like ending up with panda eyes. So I kind of lost the sharpness of this point a little bit because my hand kind of just like went meh, whatever. That's what it is looking like now. Now, could I have made this eyeliner way thicker because I have so much blank space out there? I definitely could have. I'm a little bit nervous to try because like once you get it right, you really don't want to screw around with it too much. So I will say I could have definitely made it a lot thicker, but yeah, I'm probably not gonna fuss with this much more than I already have. It's just too much of a risk. A brown eyeliner in the waterline could definitely make this look a lot better. I'll use the Clio So Sharp So Simple in the shade Maroon Brown. I'm gonna put this in the lower waterline. And you can see it just adds like a very subtle hint of definition without actually looking like I put black liner in my waterline. So I have these two Super Shock blushes. One of them is in the shade Magic Moon and the other one is in the shade Darling. And I don't really know if Darling is for me. It's the more kind of bricky one. This one, however, I'm definitely gonna try. I'm gonna be applying this directly under all that eyeshadow that I extended out. So you know how I let the eyeshadow really pull out from my lower lash line? I'm gonna mix that into the blush. So we're putting the blush all the way up here. And this blush has a slight glow to it. It could also be a really nice blush topper if you wanted it to be. You can really see the sheen from this angle. And now you can see what that looks like. And that's what that's looking like. Really, really pretty. It actually blends out okay with a finger once you really work on it for a little bit. It has a kind of almost like a pinky purple kind of shift to it in the glow. So it's not like gonna be my favorite blush color ever, because highlighters with that shift I don't really generally use, but I can definitely see this being used in more kind of dramatic looks like this, where it's a little bit more kind of out there. I love intense blush, you guys know that, so this is what it's looking like right now. Well, now that I think about it, I think this might work really well in place of my bronzer, I think in the outer portion, because it kind of is gonna, it matches like the eyeshadow I used. So I'm gonna put this actually in the outer portion, almost like a bronzer. I'm gonna put this all the way up here and focus it on the outer portion, and I am gonna kind of work it into my eyelid area. So I did use a little bit too much, so I'll use less on the other side, but that's what that looks like. Okay, so now you can see both shades. I think it looked better with just the other one, but I did want to demo both for you guys, so that's what those both look like. Honestly, it's pretty cute. You guys know my feelings on blush, so of course I'm gonna think this is really cute, so. Yep, and I'm gonna go ahead and add a Super Shock highlighter just to kind of top it off, like ColourPop, ColourPop. Let me see. I think this one will look really well. This is from the ColourPop and Biddy collection. It's in the shade Frosty. I do have Flexitarian, of course, but I think compared to the inner corner highlight, it'll be way too white. So we're gonna use Frosty, which is a lot more subtle and has a bit more of a golden kind of undertone to it. You can see that I feel like that matches like so much better. It's also not as out there as Flexitarian is. These are not as metallic shiny as other Super Shock highlighters, which I know Pony did that on purpose, so I definitely really like how they look on the skin. It is almost too dark for me to use on my nose, but I can kind of get away with it in this look. Okay, so this is what my face is looking like now, and now the last thing from this collection to feature are going to be those glossy lip stains that I'm so interested in. I'm definitely only going to be able to use one, but this is the shades that I got. They're really similar. This one is a bit more kind of has a bit more red, this has a bit more pink, so we're going to use this one. I think this will be fun. I'm going to first line my lips with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in another round. I've been using this one a lot recently instead of the M Cosmetics one. I don't know, just nice to have a change. And I've also been really enjoying kind of negating my Cupid's bow, which I do really like my Cupid's bow, but I've been really enjoying that TikTok trend of like filling it in. I still don't have TikTok, I just kind of see the overflow on YouTube and Instagram of what makeup looks people are doing. I'm working on it, I'm just really slow. And as you guys know, I do overline my lips a little bit. So this is in the shade Tinkerbell, is that what it is? Yeah. The other one is Clap If You Believe, and then this pinky one I'm using is in the shade Tinkerbell. It does have a little bit of like pearl in it, like a little bit of sparkle to it, which I think is really fun. A little bit more kind of MLBB for me than I was expecting. I don't usually wear colors like this. I feel like they kind of get like dead. And so the thing about these is that as you wear them throughout the day, they kind of set down and leave a stain behind that still looks glossy, but it doesn't transfer anywhere. Definitely a Korean formula. So I am gonna go ahead and take the shade Clap If You Believe and put that on top, just because this is, it's not really doing it for me. So I am gonna take the other shade. Okay, this one is actually a little bit more brown. Okay, so I totally was thinking one of these shades would be more pink. That's not what I got, so not really quite what I was expecting, but I did put on the Glossier, one of the Glossier lip balms before I did this video, and that lip balm has a bit of a reddish tinge to it, so that's why my lips were so red during the video, and the red still kind of shines through and it mixes with the stains to produce a pretty flattering color, so I still like it. Just kind of with the what was under my lips beforehand, you know, kind of works together. It doesn't look too bad. So this is the finished look. Obviously, if I put on lashes, it would definitely make the look way better, but I'm just not feeling like it right now. The lips are already kind of starting to set down. It's a really pretty finish. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of these colors, but actually the fact that there's pearls in it really saves it for me, because it adds such a glistening, sparkling feel to the finish without looking too glossy, and it's not going to be super sticky. And I can't feel it either. Like sometimes you can feel it being really gritty, but I could not feel it for this one, so completely fine. So I'm really pleased with the fact that I got it. I enjoy it a lot, and I kind of regret not getting that Super Shock highlighter. Maybe I'll pick it up later if it's still in stock, I don't know. So that's all well and good. Now as for my YesStyle products, my favorite one is definitely going to be the Ampoule Mist. This is going to be a really great kind of pre-primer step for me. This is okay. I'll keep using it in conjunction with a super bright concealer. It actually looks pretty good, so I'll use it up, but not a repurchase from me. This eyeliner, I don't understand. The tip is not, this is not it for the tip. I don't recommend this. The powder I think is, I've had this for a while. I think it's fine. I don't use it that often, so take of that what you will. I feel like it's a little bit expensive and there's other alternatives like the Eclipse Blur Powder Pact I think is better, but this is fine. Honestly, it's fine. It makes your skin look really nice, and if you have dry skin, I would say consider this because it's not drying to my skin. I hadn't used it in a while before using it today, and honestly I forgot how nice it looked, so actually like it is a nice powder. Like finally the UNLEASHIA glitters. So I don't put glitters on my eyelids. It's not worth it, but I'll quickly show you what was in the kit. So first off was this brush, which is designed for applying glitters. So this is definitely a really nice brush. I'll keep around. I wonder if it can apply metallics really well, so I'm definitely gonna keep this brush, you know, just to have it. And then the glitter I got is in this really pretty shade here, and it's just in a very small jar. And here is what it looks like. Really pretty. I could totally see this being beautiful on the eyelid. I know if I swatch it, it'll be on me for the next 10 years, but I'll still swatch it for you guys. You're welcome. The particles are not that big, so it's definitely tempting for me to put on, but that's what the swatch looks like. It is a really pretty color. I really could totally see this being on my eyelids. This is, now that I'm swatching it, I'm so tempted to put it on my eyelids, but the gel feels really nice, way better than the glitterly obsessed pots that ColourPop did for the longest time. The glitters feel much less sharp. It didn't scratch my skin or this finger of my skin or my back of my hand while swatching, so if you have sensitive eyes and you like glitters, UNLEASHIA is extremely popular in Korea because of their glitters and the fact that their glitters are not super sharp, not super scratchy, definitely not craft glitter. Is it eye safe still? No. But as far as glitters go, the UNLEASHIA glitter is so unscratchy. It's not gonna scratch you up or anything, like it's not gonna irritate your eyelids being on it. Will it scratch your cornea if it falls in when you blink? I couldn't promise that it wouldn't, and I'm not a doctor, so, but if you do like it, I would say UNLEASHIA is going to be your safest option, so make of that what you will. I'm trying to really pump out more videos. I fell into such a slump this past week because I just had to work so much, and so I was sleeping a lot, but I'm definitely back into the groove now, and so I can't wait to film more and have more videos out for you guys. So in the meantime, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!